So I wish that I had better news to share with you guys, but in the interest of always being fully transparent here on my YouTube channel, I'm still gonna share the last 2 months of sales for my antique booth. So if you wanna see what's been selling for me in May and June, I know this is August that you're seeing this, but still May and June, keep on watching. Hey guys, it's me, Kay, and you've arrived at my weird little corner of the internet. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm a part-time reseller, mostly on eBay and Poshmark, but in this video, we're gonna talk about my antique booth that I sell at locally. It's a physical place where I can keep items, which is great for me because I can source them and then move them to the booth and they don't take up space in my home, in my living space, in my shed, none of that. They go right there as soon as they're ready, tagged, and all of that good stuff. So, like I said in the intro, I wish that I had better news, better sales. And most of you know, if you're not new to my channel, June was basically a wash for me. I didn't really do much in the way of anything in regards to my business. So I know this is a little bit late of a recap, but I'm going to talk about May and June. I have my little sheets here from the booth for both of those months, and like I said, I always just want to be very transparent here on this channel. Not every month is great. Being an antique booth vendor for me is not the most lucrative thing, and oftentimes it's a negative balance at the end of the month, and as is the case with both of these months we're about to talk about, I got $0 as a check at the end of the month. So I'm not the best at it, but I really enjoy it, and that's why I continue to do it. So with that said, let's get started. I'm just moving back a little bit so I can put my paper in front of me and read it. If you didn't know, my antique booth is located in Rhode Island, and it's not really in the greatest location. It's kind of not the sexiest place either. It's not super clean, there's no heat, there's no AC, so in extreme cold and extreme heat, it's not really the most fun place to shop at for a little while. But the owner is really nice, and like I said, I just really enjoy doing it. I really love sourcing things for my antique booth, much more so than I like sourcing clothing and things like that for my online resale business. So it's just something that I like to do, and that's why I keep doing it. And it's not necessarily the greatest financial decision I've ever made, but sometimes I have good months. Like when I do the July recap in a week or two, I actually have a positive balance to share. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about May 1st. Also, I do wanna preface this that my rent every month is $189. So that comes out at the end of the month for the following month. From all of my sales, and I don't have to pay any commission fees. I don't have to work, which is great for me because I would not be able to maintain that with everything I have going on in my life. The only other fees that I do have to pay are credit card transaction fees, and I think that's pretty standard in the antique vendor space. So yeah, I'm gonna share every single item that's sold. I won't have pictures like my normal Poshmark and eBay what sold because I just don't have physical pictures of the items. They're not listed online, they're just in a physical store. Most of them you probably have seen at some point because I do share those items when I do my thrift hauls. So if you watch all of those, then you'll probably know what these items are. All right, so for May, we're gonna talk about May 1st. The first item I sold was an orange and blue stripe Mexican blanket. I had quite a bit of these. I found, I think, like 10 in a 2-month period, and all of them went straight to the booth, and I only have, I think, 4 left, so I've sold quite a few of those. Granted, it's also the summer. We're talking about May and June here, and so it's not really the time that people are shopping for and purchasing blankets, but I'm happy that about half of them have already been sold. I paid $2.63 for this blanket. I tagged it at $22. That's what it sold for, and they did not use a credit card, so I got the full $22. Next, I sold a rattan napkin holder. This I just pulled from my own living space. It was something I used for a while to kind of corral all of my receipts for my thrift store excursions and all of that. And I recently moved over to like an actual file folder system, so I no longer needed this for my receipts, and I brought it over there. I priced it at $6. They used a credit card, so I got $5.81. Next, I sold a pair of elephant bookends. Again, this was something that came from my own home. I regularly go through periods where I'm in purge all the things mode, and I want to be more minimalist. It never lasts long, but I at least make a few bucks from, you know, just purging some items around my house. These sold for $18 and I got $17.42. Next was 2 Pokemons. They're little tiny figures that are like from China that I get off of Facebook Marketplace, and I basically just double my money on them because I priced them at 2 for $1. But they always sell out like lightning fast. I have 2 fresh batches. I have 48 of them that I have to bring over this weekend actually, because they're completely sold out. So yeah, sold 2 of these for $1. I got 97 cents. Next, I sold a small Mountain Lion trinket box. This I had priced at $11.95. Anything that doesn't have an even dollar amount is really old, because when I first started the booth, I put everything with 95 cents because I just thought it was interesting to do the 95, kind of like on eBay where I do 99 cents for every listing that I put up. But then soon after, maybe like 6 to 8 months later, they came and said that they don't want anyone to price with cents anymore. Everything has to be a whole dollar. So if you ever see something with cents, 95 cents, it's because of that. So this was old. No credit card fee though, so I got the whole $11.95. Next, I sold a large Pikachu plush that sold the same day that I brought it over there. For $12. I had it listed in my eBay store for probably at least a year and decided to pull it. And that I got $11.61 from. I didn't pay anything for that because I originally bought it for Liv, and then she ended up not wanting it. So I didn't record my cost of goods and I just threw it up on eBay. But like I said, it didn't sell there. Next, I sold a ThredUp item. So this was a pair of heart-shaped glasses. Liv actually opened these in one of her boxes when we do like the ThredUp Fun Box battle, which we haven't done in a while. But she put them on in the video and everybody complimented them. Even I complimented them, but she didn't want them. I paid $3.64 for these from ThredUp. That was the cost of each item in that specific box. And they only sold for $5, and I made $4.84 after the credit card fee. Next, I sold an Alice book, like a Disney Alice in Wonderland book that I got from the bins. I paid 65 cents for it at the bins because the media price is, I think, 50 cents a pound now. It sold for $6. I got $5.81. Then I sold a Murano glass style flower. It wasn't marked as Murano, so I don't know if it was Murano or not, but it kind of looked like it, so that's why I just left it as Murano style. I paid $4.49 for this, and it sold for $18, and I make $17.42. Then I sold a Jim Shore Santa figure. I did share this in a thrift haul at one point. It was not too long ago, maybe 2 to 3 months ago. I paid $6.42. It's the first time I ever found a Jim Shore piece, and I didn't think it would sell in May because it's not close to Christmas, but people buy Christmas year round. This sold for $20, and I got $19.36. 2 more Pokemon sold for $1. Then I sold 2 rings for $4. And I got $3.87. Those just came from around the house. I'm pretty sure they were Liv's at one point and we moved them over there. I sold 3 Pokemons for $1.50 and I got $1.45. Then I sold another Mexican blanket for $22. I don't know which colors this was because it just says Mexican blanket on my little sheet here. And I got $21.29. And then the last item I sold for the month of May at my antique booth were 3 more Pokemons, and I can tell when it's the owner that took this sale because he puts them in as little guys because he doesn't know what a Pokemon is. So I sold 3 more of those for $1.50, and I got the whole $1.50 because they didn't use a credit card to pay. So net price of all the sales for the month of May, $149.95. That's $40 short of my $189 monthly rent. So on top of that, I paid $3.65 in credit card fees, And so my final amount was $146.30, and then that left me with a negative balance of $42.70 to carry over into June. That's how they do it. If I'm negative at the end of the month, I don't have to like give them the money to cover it to bring me back up to zero. They just take it out of the following month. So after my cost of goods, I was negative $60.53 for the month of May. So yeah, not great. Let's move into June, which was slightly better, but we'll get to it. I did sell more items in June. So in May, I'm gonna count the Pokemon, even if there was more than one purchase at one time, as just one sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 items in May versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 items in June. So almost 10 more items in the month of June. Let's get started. First was a thread up piece, came from a fun box. I put a lot of my fun box stuff in there that I just don't want to bother listing because it's easier to just throw a tag on it and throw it in my booth and hope that somebody comes across it and wants to buy it. So this was a little tassel keychain. It was unbranded, nothing special. I paid $2.59 for this and I tagged it at $4, and after credit card fees I got $3.87. Next was a mosaic tile kit. I had bought this years ago when I went through like a making mosaic tile pieces phase. I have addictive personality, so I go through phases where I like really go gung-ho on something and then all of a sudden I just don't care about it anymore. So I decided to throw that in the booth. It did sit for quite a while, but it sold for $6 and I got $5.81. Next was another jewelry piece from a Thread Up Fun box. This was a Harry Potter bracelet. I'm pretty sure it had Dolores Umbridge on it, who I can't stand as a character. I don't think anyone really can, but I paid $2.42 for that one and it sold for $5. I got $4.84. Then I sold a little tiny wicker and rattan stool that I got from the bins years ago, probably right after I opened my booth in November of 2020, so it's been sitting for quite a while. I paid $1.16 for it at the bins and it sold for $21.95. There's that 95 cents again, so you can see how old it is. And I got $21.25 from that. Then I sold 2 more Pokemon figures for $1, got the full $1. Then I sold some Pokemon cards for $25. It was in a little basket and I just put the Pokemon cards in there. They came from Liv. She decided to get rid of a bunch of her Pokemon cards. And I did try to list them for a while on eBay, but I wasn't getting any bites. So I put them in the booth and they sold for 25 bucks. I got $24.20. Then I sold a Fiesta Wear mug. I think this one was yellow. It doesn't say it here, but I'm pretty sure this was the yellow one that I had. It was like a golden yellow color. I paid 83 cents for this. It sold for $8. I got the full $8. And I also sold a rattan mini shelf. This came from a couple bins trips ago. I think the May bins trip actually. And I paid 98 cents. It sold for $12 the same day that I brought it there, and I got the full 12. Sold another 2 Pokemon for $1. I got 97 cents. I sold another wicker piece. It was a shelf that I got for free. It's sold for $29.95. Yep, another old item, which I'm fine with, and I got the full $29.95 out of that. Next is another fun box item. This was a Jeopardy game. It was like a little Jeopardy card game. I don't know, it was one of those really random items that Thread Up threw in there. I paid $3.03 for everything in that box, and I sold it for $4, so not a great profit. And on top of that, I only got $3.87 out of that sale. I sold 2 more Pokemons and then 2 more Pokemons. Must have been different buyers because one of them I only got 97 cents for, and the other one I got the full $1 for. Then I sold a floral mug. I sell a lot of mugs in my antique booth. I usually get between $6 to $8 for them. This one sold for $6, but this is also the start. So this is June 18th. On June 18th, I decided to do a 20% off sale. So everything from here on out was part of that 20% off sale. So I'll give you what I ticketed it for and then what the discount was, so what it actually netted going forward for the rest of the month, because I had it on from the 18th through the end of June. So this floral mug, I paid $1.99 for it. It sold for $6. Well, I ticketed it for $6. It sold for $4.80 with the 20% off, and I got $4.65. Then I sold an LL Bean mug. It was like a thicker diner style mug. I really thought it was cool, and it was like vintage looking. I paid $1.20 for it. That one I priced a little bit higher than most of my other mugs. I priced that at $10, so $8 after the discount, and I got $7.74. Then I sold a pair of sunglasses from ThredUp. I paid $4.04 for each item in that ThredUp box. I tagged them at $4, so I already knew I was gonna take a loss. They got 80 cents off from the discount, so they sold for $3.20, and I got $3.10 out of that. Not great sales. Then I sold 2 Anthropologie monogram like initial mugs to the same buyer. I paid $2.99 for the 2 of them total. One was an S and one was a W. They each were tagged for $5 a piece, so they paid $8 for both of them, and I got the full $8. So I really made $5.01 off of those 2 mugs. Not awesome, but that's fine. Then I sold a monogram end mug, also Anthropologie. Most of you guys are familiar with that style, I think. The main one, the one that's white with the like letter in black script. This one was a little bit different, so I priced this one a little bit more. I priced this one at $7. This one was floral print, and it had like the gold accents. If you are familiar with the Anthropologie monogram mugs, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I can insert a photo here if you're unfamiliar of the one that was this style. So this one was the letter N. I priced it at $7. It sold for $5.60 after the 20% off, and I got $5.42. That one I didn't pay anything for. I just had it, and I had no idea where I got it from, where it came from. So my cost of goods, as far as I'm concerned, is $0. Then I sold 2 Mexican blankets to the same buyer. Each was priced at $22. I paid $10.40 total for both of those blankets, and after the discount, they sold for $35.20, and I made $34.14. I sold a floppy hat from a ThredUp box, but my cost of goods was $0 because I got that box for free with my credits. After the discount, it was dropped to $4, and I got the full $4. Then I sold $4 worth of Pokemon, which is what, 8 Pokemon figures, and I got $3.87. Those, I do have the word net on the tag for those, so those do not count towards the discount. Anytime that I have a discount in my little booth area, anything that is tagged as net, they cannot apply the discount to, and I got $3.87 out of those if I hadn't said. Then I sold a picture frame of a Scottish cow print. I had quite a few of these because I used to have them in my bedroom, and then I got my bedroom painted like a year and a half ago, and I never put anything back up on the wall, so my walls are all just naked now. And I don't know, it just doesn't really fit with the gray color of my bedroom walls now, so I decided to throw it up in the booth for $20. It sold for $16 after the 20% off, and I got that whole $16. Then I sold 2 more Pokemon. Again, the discount doesn't apply, and I got the full $1. They must have used cash. And last but not least, for the month of June, I sold a small rattan mirror for $4 because it was tagged at $5 before the $1 discount, and I got $3.87. I'm pretty sure I bought this a while ago from like the Target dollar spot, so I probably lost money on this because it was probably the $5 item in the dollar spot at Target. But I recorded as $0 because I bought it not with the intent to resell. I was gonna put it up in my home and just never got around to it. So net sales, and this includes the discounts from the 18th forward, $213.70, which would have mean I would have gotten a check for what, $189, I don't know, like under $30, except for the fact that I carried $42.70 in the negative over from May. After the credit card fees, which were $4.18 for June, my final amount was $209.52. So not too bad. $3 to $5 a month in credit card fees isn't super high, and I'm happy with that. I'm only paying 3% for a credit card fee. It's not anything crazy. So after my $42.70 from May, they take that off first, which makes sense because they want to recoup the money from the previous month first. Then I didn't have enough to cover my rent, which was $189 as always. So they were only able to deduct $166.82 for that, which means that I'm carrying over $22.18 into the month of July. After my cost of goods, I had a negative amount of $11.11. Love the symmetry, hate that it's negative. You know, so between the 2 months, May and June, I was negative $71.64. I am happy to say though that even with the negative $22 going into July, I should have enough to maybe get like a $50-ish check for July. So hopefully things turn up. I'm not really surprised by these numbers because summer, not the best time for antique malls. If you didn't know, it's nice out, especially in New England where we only get a short amount of time where it's actually nice and comfortable and people are able to do things outside. So they're not wanting to spend their free time around a stuffy antique mall that has no AC. It is what it is. I like the cooler months better as far as the antique booth goes because I typically make more sales because people are bored and it's crappy out and nobody wants to be outside when it's cold and possibly snowing, so they go and shop at antique malls and my sales are typically a little bit better. So I moved some items. I'm happy with that and I just get lots of joy. It's like an immense joy that I get from finding items that fit my aesthetic and that I really think would sell well at the booth. Granted, they don't always do as well as I hoped, but that's just the nature of the reselling business. And it's really fun for me and it's kind of like an outlet, something that I can do that's just mine, that, you know, my daughter's not really involved in it. It's really just for me and I like it. So don't come for me in the comments. Yes, I know it's not the greatest idea to lose money on a consistent basis, but sometimes you get good months. Like July was a decent month for me as far as the booth is concerned. January was a really good month. I made like $200, I think, in January in profit at the booth. So I was happy with that too. And maybe going forward, I'll have a few more good months. I think that I'm sourcing better overall and across the board in my business for online and at the booth. And I'm really happy with the way things are going. Yes, it could be better, but yes, it also could be worse. But those are my sales for May and June at my antique booth. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you think that I should source different items, if you want to see a more in-depth, you know, look into my antique booth space. I know I don't really show too much content in there just because I can't find the time to do so. But I will try if you guys are really interested in seeing it. And as far as that's concerned, that's it for this video, but you will see the July one in a couple weeks. I will be getting the paperwork for the sales and all the fees and stuff tomorrow. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube to know what type of content you enjoy seeing from me. And as always, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here in my weird little family on the internet, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys.